What's up, everybody? Mark with Coffee&Toys here. It is Sunday, and once again, that means today we will be doing another vintage/classic G.I. Joe figure unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we have one from the A Real American Hero line from 1982 to 1994, and today's video is going to be Firefly version 2. Quite a story we got with this one. Let's talk about it. But first, before we jump into any unboxing, of course, today's coffee is brought to us once again by CoffeeBrandCoffee.com. Yes, CoffeeBrandCoffee.com, a great American business serving up all your favorite types of coffee, your light roast, your dark roast, your medium roast, double caffeinated, flavored. And they got more than just that. They've got nuts, candies, saltwater taffy, gifts for everybody. They've got hats, t-shirts, everything. Make sure you check out CoffeeBrandCoffee.com. Use the link in the description down below. Save yourself 5% on your first order or your 50th order, and also support this channel in doing so. I did manage to get myself a new mug. I don't want to get overly political, but that's all. So, today on the channel, we're unboxing this vintage version 2 Firefly figure. And man, nobody likes this figure. I don't know why. I know why, because it's a neon green Firefly and very divergent from the classic gray camo that we all like. But there's some history behind this guy, and for me personally, I'm going to enjoy talking about it, so I'm going to take a couple minutes to tell you about this version of Firefly I like, because when I started reading the G.I. Joe comic, it was already in the 120s through 130s, somewhere in that range is when I started reading it. And Firefly was very much shown, especially I think in issue 133, there was an issue where he is working with the Red Ninjas, and he really just, he looked like this. The face was a little different. I'll try to throw a picture up so you can see it. But I always, when I saw this Firefly in the stores, I was like, oh my gosh, that's the version that fought Snake Eyes. And for me, this was Ninja Master Firefly, not just Saboteur Firefly. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Mark. I'm with Coffee&Toys, and what I do on Sundays is I unbox and talk about classic G.I. Joe action figures, anything, like I said, from 1982 through 2016. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at this figure in the package, we're going to talk about it, then you're going to see me in real time actually open the figure, discuss what I find, where, hopefully the O-ring doesn't snap on it, make sure everything's there, not broken after 30-some years, almost 40 years. And yeah, and I'll give you kind of my final thoughts on this figure and any kind of memories I have along the way. So with that being said, let's jump on over and let's check out Firefly version 2. Okay, here we have it, Firefly version 2, and this came out in 1991. It was available from 91 to 92, and it's got, this one in particular, don't have any qualms opening this guy today. You can see this card's all really warped up, so it's not going to bother me whatsoever. But just looking at it, in my opinion, this is kind of the second high of G.I. Joe action figures. Now, a lot of people will say that kind of G.I. Joe faded away starting in 85 for most people. The numbers say different. They say that once G.I. Joe kind of reinvented itself in the mid-90s with these brighter colors and whatnot, there was actually more G.I. Joes being sold at that point. And you can fact check me on that, but Kirk Bazigian has said as such. And yeah, this figure I always liked just because it had, it was, like I said, from the comic book version of Firefly, although it's slightly different. And, you got your weapon up here. You got number 11 in the series, Firefly Cobra Saboteur. He had his blade launcher that shoots, and we will definitely check that out. And we got the digital explosion background, which has always personally been my favorite. And yeah, I didn't like that this string always stayed right in the way. And, it is what it is. Kind of blocks the picture a little bit. But yeah. We got that there. We can see Firefly in the packaging. We can see he's got a pamphlet in the back for mail-away figures. And let's just spin him over and check out the back. So on the back, you can see this wave this is a wave I remember a lot of. And just looking through it, I remember getting Flak Viper. I had him. I don't remember if I had Gung Ho. Had Firefly, had the Cobra Eel. We have our new Special Forces. You had your Eco Warriors, your DEF, your Ninja Force. Of course, you got your Flag Point. Watch the new G.I. Joe TV Adventures, or no TV Adventures of G.I. Joe. Of course, I was watching that. Didn't care for it near as much as the Sunbow series, but it was still really good. Or I'm sorry, the Sunbow series. That's right. And then, of course, we have his file card down here, which I'm not going to read the entire thing, but I do like the I came, I saw, I blew it up. And he was here they give the vehicle specialty, the Cobra Paralyzer Driver. And of course, through here you can read about his outfit. And as I've said on the channel before, I always really liked reading this part and knowing every piece of equipment and gear that Firefly was wearing. And yeah, really excited to be opening this guy. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and open him up, because like I said, we do that live on the channel. We got one ginormous blister, and we'll start it up here. Pretty excited about opening this guy. Oh, that came off actually really easy. Oh, there goes the... Oh, wow, that just fell right off. That was probably the best I could hope for. Wowzers. So yeah, there's the card art. Man, that glue just came right off. Like, it's like I was barely holding on. So let's take this and set it off to the side. And turn this camera down a little bit. And there we have it. We have Firefly out of the package for the first time in 30 some years. Ooh, tight joints. Got a little bit of warping there, or not warping, but stress on that particular joint. You can see it just a little bit. But man, what a fantastic figure. I like this figure. I did, like I said, in the comics, I was always kind of concerned because he didn't have the little piece on his extra metal piece over his nose. But overall, a great figure. And again, loaded to the gills with explosives, as Firefly should be. We got 3 grenades here on the side. We got multiple grenades across the chest. We got this Kevlar looking gear, which I always thought was kind of neat. So he can, he could withstand some blasts, which is one thing that the original Firefly didn't really have. He was just wearing that gray outfit and nothing to really protect him if something went wrong. Down here, he's got this looks like some sort of cord to wrap somebody up. Various pouches. We got the Cobra insignia on his arm, and I'm going to try to zoom in on that. Mine's got a little, come on, focus, not that hard. Mine's not quite perfect, but I do remember even my one as a kid not having a great logo. It's hard to stamp that red logo on there with the ripples in the shirt. But yeah, zooming out a little bit, we'll look at the back of the figure. And yeah, I guess another thing I also like is that he's asymmetrical on the arms. He's got this weird gauntlet thing right here, and not on the other side. But man, really good, really tight O-ring. I mean, tight joints. You can hear him breaking them in place for the first time. And again, kind of got these ninja slippers on, which we saw in the later G.I. Joe comics. So I like this figure. Now, they did re-release this figure as a version 3, and they did black instead of gray, but that was the only change in the figure. Everything else was the same. He might have been part of Battle Corps at that point, I think, finally. So the card art was a little bit different. But man, a great figure. Let me go ahead and sand him up here. Of course, he's got more than just the figure. We've got his wacky assault rifle, which I don't think this is the first time we've seen this one. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Drop me a comment below and let me know if this is the first time we saw this gun. I really like it. I mean, outside of it being just kind of a bright green color, I think it's a really cool gun. Got a whole bunch of detail to it. Spin around to this side. Very cool weapon. But not in comparison to his crazy, whatever the hell this blade thing's supposed to be. So basically what you had to do is you drop the blade, you put it in here like so. So there you go. The idea was that he would remotely control this and attack people with it. Never saw it in the comics. Just some kind of crazy accessory that somebody at Hasbro came up with. And you were supposed to take this guy. This is the mechanism to make it go out. And so you push it in here. If I'm doing this right. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Probably you have to put it in first. Maybe you should have read the instructions, Mark. I don't know. So what I'm going to try to do is, it's going to be hard to show this on the screen, but I'm going to try to shoot Firefly with it from off the screen. So you're going to see me grab it, and 1, 2, 3. I did a great job of making that thing just spin in place. Let's try that again, only better. So you put it in. All right, let's try it this time. I'll set it on the ground, and we'll try to get it to work. This is really difficult to do, by the way, behind a camera. So yeah, I'm not doing well at this. It says I'm doing it right. To fire top, hold launcher, and quickly pull zip cord. Well, we tried it, It didn't work out too great, but that's okay. We can stand it right there. Well, we can try to stand it right there. And there we go. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's accessorize Firefly with his pistol, or I'm sorry, his assault rifle, which again, I liked playing with this figure as a kid. I thought it was really fun. I thought this gun was great. And of course we got to just... Firefly, I'm trying to make you right-handed, buddy, but might not happen today. There we go. So, focus. There we go. We got the gun. Bend his arm. And it fits in there very well. I mean, it looks good. So when you actually set him for the stance, looks very, very good. And then, of course, he does come with a stand as well, as most figures do, when it, from the Real American Hero line. Actually, fun fact, the battle stands didn't come on until like when did the battle stands actually come in? It wasn't until like the mid or late 80s. But then they were included with all the figures moving forward through the end of the line. So yeah, there he is. There's the figure. I'll make sure to put a actual 360 turnstile of him. We do also get the Secret of the Dark Lagoon. I believe we've covered this one before, but one more time we will check it out. This is some of the stuff you could have ordered. Obviously the whale, the battle barge and jetpack, the martial arts unit of Jinx and Quick Kick, Cobra Sea Ray, the G.I. Joe Skyhawk. Not much to this one, but I didn't order anything from this one when I was a child, but I think and then you could also get your personalized dog tags. And once again, it's always fun to just look over the actual, like, stuff was so cheap. The G.I. Joe whale was $33.70 without flag points, $29.95 with flag points. Absolutely crazy, absolutely bonkers. But yeah, we'll set that off to the side. And yeah, as a final overall of Firefly, I really enjoy this figure. It's go ahead and put that there. It's a fun figure. The accessory is kind of corny, but again, this is the part of the time of G.I. Joe where Hasbro was having to come up with new ideas. And those new ideas included spring-launched weapons, and this was a precursor to it by having a weapon that could be used with a zip cord, very similar to how. Oops, I just fell out. Very similar to how the rip cords for the battlecopters was. And I loved the battlecopters. I had the Interrogator with his when I was a kid too. But yeah, let me know. Did you have Firefly in your collection when you were a kid? Do you have it in your collection now as an adult? What do you think of Firefly V2? He gets a lot of hate, but this YouTuber likes him, and I hope you like this video. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. That really helps out the channel. And yeah, I will see you guys more tomorrow for Marvel Monday when we review, I think we're on G.I. Joe issue 10 of the Real American Hero series. So can't believe how many issues I've already gotten through. And yeah, with that being said, I'm Mark. You've been watching Coffee with Toys, and I'll see you later. Let's go.